Hi guys, it's Dana and it's time to talk about money. And in this video, I wanted to talk about some ways that you can have fun at home on the cheap. Plus, I wanted to show you guys how I organize our board games for the kids at home so they don't become a wreck. Okay, so if you are trying to pay off debt, then you're probably trying to not go out too much, or hopefully you shouldn't be going out too much to restaurants, movies, right? You're trying to pay off your debt. So you're probably trying to look for some ways that you can entertain yourself and your children on the cheap, at home or not at home, but just doing things that won't cost you a lot of money so that you can still have fun in your time off, right? So I'm off today and I'm kicking it with my sweatshirt on, my YouTube mom one. And so I'm a homebody, okay? I'm a homebody anyway, so being home for me isn't too difficult. Luckily, my husband is too. But it still can be challenging trying to find some fun things to do so you're not bored, right? Hanging out at the house. And especially if you have children, you need to keep things fun for them. All right, so I have a list of things you can do. And number one at the list is reading. Reading, right? It can be really fun if you get engrossed in a book. I can sit around for hours or days or all night long. I will stay awake reading a book if I'm really, really into it. So reading is a great thing. You can get books from the library. You can get ebooks from the library. You can find free books to read, and it's a great pastime for your kids too. If they get into a good series or read a series to them, depending on their age, you can start reading the Harry Potter series to them or those Warrior series books with the cats. My daughter loves those books, so there's a whole bunch of different things you can get your kids into too. If you start reading to them, then they'll get into it as well, most likely. Okay, so number 2 is podcasts. I am a podcast junkie. I've been for years. I think since they first came out, I've been listening literally for, I don't know, whenever they began, I think is when I started listening to them. It's been, 10, 15 years, I feel like I've been listening to podcasts. And luckily now there's everything is a podcast, which is fantastic. I listen to Dave Ramsey. I listen to, what else do I listen to? What's my lineup? Planet Money. I listen to Entree Leadership. TED Radio. TED Radio is one of my absolute favorite podcasts. Anyway, you might not be into any of that at all, but you can, whatever topic it is you like to listen to, most likely you can find a podcast on it, and it's free. And you can listen and learn stuff, so I love podcasts. My favorite time to listen to podcasts is actually when I'm folding laundry and putting away clothes. That's when I like to plug my phone into a little speaker and I put a podcast on, and then I just sort and fold and put away clothes. Anyway. Next, exercise, right? I like to do a lot of jogging, hiking I like to do. Luckily, we have a lot of places to do that or we can go biking near us. And so, if you just start exercising or even exercise videos, you can spend hours exercising. You can really get into it. So, and it's a good thing. It's healthy. And it passes the time. You can clean. Really, if you start cleaning, again, that can take hours and it's good exercise. Just combine those exercising and cleaning. But it is not always, some people think it's fun and it feels good when it's done. It feels really good when it's done. Painting. Painting I wasn't sure to put on this list. Okay, if you have paint supplies already or you just have paper and some paint, maybe you want to draw. You can get those adult coloring books and you can color on them, but canvases and paints, they can get really expensive. So you have to be careful with that kind of hobby because it can kind of explode on you price-wise. But painting, drawing, even with a pencil and paper, just taking up that hobby, that can be really fun and relaxing, and it's free. YouTube. I love YouTube so much. I can spend hours on YouTube. If you are trying to get out of debt and you have a dream list, you and your partner, as far as what your reason why you're getting out of debt, what are you doing all this for? And maybe one of it is that you can travel. You might want to spend time on YouTube or wherever looking up things that are part of your dream list, right? we want a camper. I'd love to have a camper one day. We're not getting one anytime soon, but I like to watch camper or RV channels, and I like to look at people showing tours of their campers. And it's like, I also like House Hunters on TV. It's kind of like that, I guess, but I like to watch that. But you can spend a lot of time. It's fun, and then you sort of are building your dream list and helping you keep motivated, because you can kind of focus on the goal as far as why you're doing all this. Why are you working so hard to get out of debt, to build, so that you can build wealth, so that you can reach those dreams, those goals that you have for yourself. So YouTube is great because you can find almost anything on there, and yeah, anything like me. You can find me on there. Okay. All right, so then this brings me to board games. So you can play board games, card games, and that is something that we do big time in our family. So our kids love board games, especially our one son. He's really into it. He loves to do it, and you can pass a lot of time doing it. So we play Uno, and so I'm going to show you our card games. And also, I went shopping recently at Walmart to buy a whole bunch more of these things. So I have shown these in, I'll just show you now. I have shown you guys these in other videos because I have our cards. So these are our, like when we go camping, I love these for when we would go camping, because I stick our cards in here so that they don't get lost, right? And they're stackable, like really nicely stackable. And these are $1 at Walmart. And they are crayon boxes. So well, at least in our Walmart, you can find them in all the like office supplies. These are with office supplies, and it's a crayon box. Anyway, so I am going to be using more of these, which I will show you, to organize all of our board games, because there's so many cards, like in the game of Clue, for example, like there's, cards and pieces and stuff. And with the kids, for whatever reason, every single time we have a game, they open it up and the pieces are thrown around. I mean, my kids are like wild animals. They're throwing stuff around. We lose cards. Like, it just seems like we cannot keep the game intact. So I have to go and buy another game, or I try to go to Goodwill or thrift stores, which is what I have to do for Clue. Because at this point now, all of our little weapon pieces are lost. I think we have one. And so I have to try to find the game at a Goodwill or thrift store, so I can just get more of those little pieces, the extra pieces. Same thing with the game of life, right? So these little boxes, I think, are huge to help to organize your games and keep the pieces together. And it just seems to make a difference with the kids, because like I said, we had some of these, but I had to get a whole bunch more. And it helps to keep everything contained in little boxes. It's just better. Everybody, you just say, put the cards back in the box, and then they seem to do that. More so than when the pieces are just like scattered throughout your game board box, right? All right, so I'll show you how we have them stacked and all that good stuff. All right, so here's the cabinet that we have all of our games in. And also we have like a little clear storage box just for crayons. And then this is a big one with coloring books for the kids, because they like to color. So we just have this one clear big bin, and we just stick a whole bunch of coloring books in here for them. They can just yank them out. And the big thing is to keep them like stackable, so you can pull it out and put it back in easy. And then we have another bin for paper, so we just have a bunch of paper in there for them. All right, so then down in the bottom where the games are, we have puzzles, games. That's some Lincoln Logs. So here's Clue and Life. And I just suggest you have a designated location for your games, right? So wherever that is, just make sure you have a designated place. It can be an ottoman, a cabinet. Just have one spot though for your games. And then that way you can help, it'll keep it more organized. And then we have a clipboard for paper, just to keep score for things. As we're playing games, if need be, that's there. And Twister, Guess Who. All right, so in this game of life, I'll show you this one. This is the one that's missing pieces and everything. All right. So in here, you can see I have those little boxes. Like I said, I put the cards in these boxes to keep them together. And then these are the little cars. And as you can see, we are missing a lot of them. They've just been thrown about, so I need to try to find some replacement pieces for Life, because the kids have really hit this game hard. They love to play Life. And then, like I said, these other games, because you know when you buy a game, like this one's kind of new. So you get the game and it comes in the box, but if you're just keeping them in this box, it gets ripped, and then the cards just easily just get like scattered, just like psh, you know, they just kind of little, I don't know. So these boxes are huge if you have any kind of card games, so you can just stick them in here, and it makes it a lot easier. Other games, like they might not fit in this little box, you can try to find bigger boxes that you could stick them all, you know, like this one has, what size are these? Charades for kids. So sometimes the games come with like this tray, if I can get it out, but again, like see how like they just kind of like just spill out. So this game would be perfect for this box because this is just waiting to be lost. This one is fairly new, but these cards are definitely not going to last in this little tray. I mean, your kids might not be as wild as mine, but they just tend to, these things just seem to be scattered if I don't have a clear box that they have to stick it back into. You know what I'm saying? And the Uno cards have lasted a lot longer since they've been placed in one of these little boxes. Here's Let's Go Fish, and we lost, it just, the actual thing has been lost. I don't even know what happened to it. So a lot of times our kids really beat up our games. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. If it's your first time here, be sure to subscribe. I'm here every single Tuesday talking all about money, and I try to provide you guys with some budget-friendly tips and tricks and ways to help you with your family while you're trying to get out of debt. And if you have any good ideas of ways to have fun at home for free that I didn't mention, please leave it below in the comments. It's wonderful when you guys do that because it helps us all out, helps me out, gives me ideas too and our family. So thank you for doing so. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.